A customizable keyboard isn't just about changeable keycaps and key switches. What's up, you good people? This isn't just going to be another keyboard. This is going to be your tenkeyless keyboard when you prefer. It can also be your full-size keyboard. This is also going to be your mini media dock for your PC built into your keyboard. And if you want to maximize efficiency, this is also your quick shortcut dock. To personalize it, you can also easily swap out the MX Cherry key switches to another of your preference. All these set ablaze with 16.7 million colors with numerous RGB modes to choose from and more. Before we dive deeper into each of these features that we've just mentioned, let's do a quick rundown first into what you get in this box. This keyboard comes in this huge matte black and slightly blue box. First look, I'd have thought it were a shoebox. In the box, the first layer is the main keyboard itself, which is a tenkeyless. Beneath that, you get a magnetic palm rest, which we'll talk more about it later as well. In the second layer comes all of the extra features. Going from right to left, the first box is the USB cables. There are two thick USB cables in here, a USB Type-A and a USB Type-C. The USB Type-A cable is 2 meters long, while the Type-C is a mere 15 centimeters, both of which are braided. Next, we have the number pad with customizable display keys, which you can use for your favorite shortcuts, and we'll go into more details about that later. Thirdly, we have the media dock with a display dial. You'll be surprised what it can do. And lastly, we have a box of customizable add-ons such as magnetic riser feet to elevate your keyboard to your desired angle, an additional single keycap, 5 different MX key switches to swap out with the included keycap remover. Actually, below the last box, there is a manual pack which has a quick start manual in it and brand stickers. So if you're a collector of brand stickers, you're gonna like it. This manual is really important as it spells the hotkeys to adjust the RGB and media controls. Now let's go back to looking at each feature in detail. This keyboard is a heavy keyboard at 1.37 kilograms. I'm sporting a gunmetal grey option here. There is a midnight black option as well. The main frame here, of course, shows the gunmetal aluminium frame with slight texture of horizontal lines, topped with midnight black keys. These keys have RGB backlight, and in fact there is a RGB lining all around the keyboard. On the top, you get a subtle mountain logo above the rows of keys. On the reverse side, it is a matte plastic base, once again subtle logo and branding. The cable for this keyboard is detachable and is attached via USB-C here and USB-A to your PC. And there is a nice cutout to hold the cable in place, depending on where you like it to route. This keyboard also has 2 rounded riser feet which keeps the keyboard very sturdy. You can add the extra riser feet in the last box we showed earlier to prop it up to an angle that's most comfortable for you. These riser feet are magnetic, so it's really easy to just put them on or remove them. There is also a USB Type-A port here at the back. Initially, I was thinking if I could use the 2-meter cable the other way around and connect the USB-A to the keyboard and the USB-C to, say, my MacBook. The bad news is that this Type-A port is not a power pass-through port, but the good news is that this is actually a USB 3.2 Gen 1 hub to connect to your other peripherals. If, like me, you use the number pad a lot in your workflow and prefer a full-size keyboard, this is the number pad you can add on. It features the same materials and keys as the tenkeyless, and on the underside, the same plastic material and riser feet as the keyboard. Here in the middle is a slider which you can slide to the left or to the right, and that pushes the USB-C connector to connect to the tenkeyless. You may be thinking, why both directions? And that's because the Max keyboard caters for preference to attach the number pad on both the left or the right of the keyboard, whichever suits you best to be efficient in your workflow. If you notice when you slide the slider, it also pushes out this portion, and this is a very important part of the connector as well. It is magnetic and holds on to the main keyboard tightly when you install it so that your number pad will not be hanging onto the main keyboard via the USB-C connection. Added to the top of the number pad are these 4 customizable display keys. Because they are screens, you could pick an image that you would like to represent the shortcut that you desire to have, opening up applications with a simple push of a button. If you realized, we haven't spoken about the use of the 15 centimeters USB Type-C cable. And the number pad is really what it's used for. If you prefer to hold the number pad at an angle different from the position of the keyboard, here's where it comes in handy. The Everest Max keyboard got my attention because of the media dock which has a display dial. Now there are two spots that you can attach the media dock on the top of your keyboard, whichever your preference. I couldn't really tell if there is a magnetic connection when connecting the media dock, but it does secure itself pretty well, and in fact better than a number pad despite only connecting via a USB-C. The buttons you see here are pretty self-explanatory in icons. Next to them is a display dial, which is a color illuminated screen. This dial allows you to scroll left or right between the options, and it has this tactile feel as you turn the dial, but it doesn't function as a button, which means you don't press it to make anything work. To select an option, you press the button to the left of the dial once and press it twice to go back. The last thing in the box which we've not spoken about is the wrist rest. Now the Everest Max comes with a wrist rest which is covered in PU leather, and you can see that it is quite firm. It's not the soft spongy kind, and it connects to the keyboard magnetically. It is the length of the main keyboard, which is the 10 keyless, excluding the number pad. There's nothing especially unique about it to shout out about. It doesn't look cheap for one, but for some reason, I feel that once you start to use the wrist rest with this keyboard, not using it starts to feel less comfortable than when you were using it. Overall, the Everest Max is really interesting for what it is and can deliver. At 399 Singapore dollars, this is an expensive keyboard. Well, they never meant to compete in the mainstream keyboard category anyway, making simple things like keyboard legs to prop it up to a certain angle very premium by adopting magnetic risers and multiple ways to elevate the user experience for anyone who's using this keyboard. And remember, you also get to have that detachable media dock with a display screen, or switch between a full-size keyboard and a 10 keyless anytime that you like. In short, they are delivering a keyboard that is not just meant for typing alone. Now, I'm still feeling very wow about this keyboard, and if there is anything that I could ask for, it would probably be that the 5 buttons on the media dock, have some form of RGB so that I can use it in the dark if I needed to. I know for manufacturers, budget keyboards are a more interesting sell compared to premium keyboards because there isn't just enough data to show how big is the premium keyboard market. But what I do know is that such innovative experiences introduced to keyboards can be such a game changer because everyone's trying to go minimalist, reduce the number of clutter on your desk, right? And if, let's say, certain peripherals can multitask and do more than one task, then that could be an interesting angle for keyboard manufacturers to think about. Say, for example, we have a 10 keyless. Instead of just giving a detachable number pad, how about a detachable trackpad that you can place on the left side or right side of your keyboard depending on whether you're right-handed or left-handed, and use that in place of a mouse using just a trackpad attached to your keyboard, or incorporating a USB dock into the keyboard itself with multiple ports that you can connect to other PC peripherals like perhaps your mouse, your Ethernet cables, your micro SD cards, and so forth. Well, I'm just throwing ideas out of my head randomly, but that could be an interesting direction for keyboards given that its size is not small anyway. It causes quite a footprint on the table. So if we can do more of what other PC peripherals can do, that would be really wow. Now, who knows? We'll see in time. Now, I know I should have said this at the start, but I'm saying it only now. I seriously apologize for all this extra noise you may hear in the background because we're having a construction of a building next door that's creeping up to as high as we are. We are on the 44th floor actually. But I guess that's what city living means, right? Noise. In the meantime, do drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And as usual, do subscribe to us if you appreciate the work that we do on this channel, trying to bring you some tech breakdown that can hopefully give you enough insights before you reach your wallet for your next tech purchase. Thank you for checking this video out, and I will see you in the next one.